we just installed a new lift in the shop. All right, guys, seen a lot of comments and videos, and you guys are asking where Mason's blue truck has been, and I finally got the trans put back together for it. So we've been working on it a little bit this weekend and getting it fired up. Also, guys, we just installed a new lift in the shop, so I guess I'll go ahead and show that to you guys now too. Don't mind the mess already. I've already been using the lift a little bit, but this is an AMGO 15,000 pound 2-post lift. You can set it on a 14 or 16 foot setting. Right now we have it on the, well, it's actually 13 and 3/4, but that's where it's set up right now. We got that all installed. Started working on it on Thursday night, Friday, and got her all wrapped up and put together. And we got Mason's blue truck where it'll fire up and move, and we're just doing some testing on stuff, checking some stuff on the trans, and yeah. So if you guys haven't seen this truck, this is kind of an OG truck on the channel. One of pretty much the first truck that we really built and did a full build series on. It's just a P-pump 24 valve, big fuel, big air, nitrous, and a full billet trans. Thing is completely gutted as much as you can for the most part without doing fiberglass stuff. Anteater, standalone controller. It doesn't have a cage, it needs a cage. It's to the point where it needs a cage. Just a little temporary, or not necessarily temporary, but kind of the best we could come up with at the time when we built the gauge cluster a couple years back. But we're also kind of been talking back and forth about putting this thing back to a streetish truck. Putting carpet back in it, putting a dashboard in it, door panels and stuff, and just making it a little bit more street friendly. Right now it's really loud. There's no insulation. Everything's cut out for weight reasons. Tried to get this thing as light as we could. It's like 4,900 pounds right now, I believe. But a fuel cell in the back, bed sides, all that good stuff. It's got an air dog fuel system. We need to switch that to the new 5G pump. And yeah, guys, we've done sled pulling, dirt dragging, drag racing. This truck kind of does it all. Well, guys, I'm not gonna hide this from you, but we did already install the transmission yesterday and had no overdrive. Couldn't figure it out before we even looked over everything. We forgot that we had taken the overdrive wire apart because this truck lost overdrive at another point, and we had spliced it, or just basically tried to hardwire it to see if that would fix it. Well, we forgot about that going back together, and it didn't have overdrive yesterday, and this is definitely going to be the problem. So Mason may or may not have just pulled the overdrive housing back off to check a lip seal. That was not the problem. It was just not being commanded because the wiring was not hooked up. So we're gonna get this hooked up and all should be good. fuel cell's leaking. Alright guys, we're on a 2017 Chevrolet. I believe this is a 3/4 ton truck. It may be a 1 ton to hold me to it. Duramax with the L5P model of engine, and I want to show you guys some of the symptoms that we're having. Customer complaint is the turbo sounds weird, which I think that's a completely different issue, but his main concern is he's getting a check engine light in limp mode, and the vehicle clearly has a intermittent misfire when under a load. You can hear a jolty old engine. I'm going to show you guys how I'm reading this. Now the codes that were in it were for cylinder 7. It had a book of codes in it, but I'm thinking that the injector is causing most of these codes because it's continued being driven while it's in limp mode. So let me reposition my phone real quick and show you guys what I'm talking about. So you can see right where it is lit up in the black, that is for cylinder number 7, and I'm going to try and duplicate this issue. So if I get on the truck, put a load on it, I know it's kind of hard for you guys to tell, but I'm feeling a slight pulse, and it's like it's cutting power back. And if we look, there it goes, reduced power. Yeah, see, it just completely shut the injector off to save the engine. So we're going to, yeah, that's exactly what it's done. The injector's just shut off. Something is going on with the number 7 injector, whether it be a wiring issue or the injector itself. So I'm gonna clear that code and get this thing back to the house before we drive it anymore. And these, you can clear them while you're driving them. In fact, I think L5Ps, you can only clear the codes while the engine's running. They're kind of different. But, I don't know, I'm driving here, guys. So, I mean, I watched it a couple times. I could see the misfire counter go up, and then when it goes into the limp mode, it completely just shuts the injector off. All right, guys, we've got the fender well pulled out, and here is number 7 injector. It's right here. I'm gonna show you guys something real quick. See, when I try to wiggle this pigtail, oh, it's kind of tight on here. This would be number 5. And then look at number 7. Look how much it moves. I think we just had a pigtail problem. So we're gonna pop that off and look at it. All right, guys, I ran to the Chevy dealership and picked up a new pigtail. I think it was $120 for a pigtail, which is absolutely ridiculous, but it's a new vehicle. They have it set up that way for a reason. They probably got 10 cents in it. $90 profit. Go back to the data, and we're gonna see if it's showing any misfires anymore. I don't think it's going to, guys. I'm pretty confident this fixed it. We still have another code for something completely different, but emissions code. Why am I here? I need to go to misfire data. Here we go. Get this AC cranking in this girl. All right. So now we're back on 7. This is the one that we saw the misfire on. We're gonna go drive and see if it'll miss anymore. All right, guys, pigtail swapped. Hasn't been going into limp mode. No misfires on the counter. That was definitely the problem with that. The pigtail was worn out. Just the vibration of it, just moving all the time on the spades and the terminals. It just worn it out. So that issue's fixed. I'm gonna call the customer, see if he wants me to look at anything else. I noticed it's leaking coolant, and said he thought the turbo was making some weird noise, but this customer is in a huge hurry, as it always seems everyone is. So I'll tell him his limp mode issue's fixed, and if he wants to dig in more, he can. But if not, he can drive without going in limp mode. So kind of benefit of the doubt on things. I like to look at stuff more, but guys, some people are just in such a hurry. Whatever it takes to get it on the road, they just want it gone. So that was the limp mode issue for sure. Could have just threw an injector at it, and then we'd wasted however much an injector cost, because the injector's fine. Thing runs good, got plenty of power. So yeah, call him and see what he wants to do. All right, guys, we're over here at Derek's house, and we're gonna give you guys a update on his common rail swap 2nd gen. Haven't really put a lot of content out on this yet because we ran into some snags, but the thing is back up and running, and he has some new injectors in it. So we're gonna go for a ride here, but first we're gonna go over the setup for any of you guys that haven't seen this before. It's a 99 Dodge with an 03 5.9 common rail swapped engine with a 849 ECM.
No, 649.
649. I don't really know all the ECMs and stuff like that, but it's a standalone fire punk harness with a full billet 47 RE and a full manual valve body.
The last time it was on the channel, it didn't have. I'll say what's updated. We got 12 mil and 400 horse industrial injectors.
Yeah, so the 12 mil wasn't even on there. You just put that on.
Yes.
This is the last time we've done a video on it. So 12 mil injection pump. I guess we'll start with the bottom end for you guys that are new. It's 12 valve rods. It's just ARP rods and mains. Yep. And then it's standard piston, and then it's fire-ringed deck, half and half with the head. The head is ported and polished, and it has all the billet goodies that it needs there. Fuel is a 200 over
400 horsepower injection.
400 horsepower.
Industrial injection.
That's what they call them, but they're.
I think they're 200% if you want to go like that route.
And then it's got a S369, which is definitely. This is the bottleneck at this point, is definitely the turbo. This thing needs a larger turbo, but it does spool very fast. I keep telling Derek, I think he's gonna explode it.
It's probably gonna explode, but I don't turn it up past like tune 2.
Yeah. Try not to beat on the truck too much. So we're gonna do 2nd gear converter locked pull. We'll show you guys how it runs.
We want 2nd? Tune 2?
Yeah, sure. Just make sure. Throttle. Yeah. You haven't done a hot retorque yet, have you?
No.
No, hot retorque needs to happen. So we're kind of
tune 2 though.
Kind of taking it easy on beating the crap out of it. That's only on tune 2. I can smell his car. Oh, damn it.
Want to see if it's right?
Yeah.
You got $100 on you?
So guys, if you didn't know, now you know.
You just say it's fully functional.
Common rails don't have vacuum pumps, so Derek, can you turn the defrost off, please? There we go. Ice cold air.
guys, it's D Smith, Cummins 24 valve. Wearing my Cummins 24 valve. I just fired up. She's a 6-speed manual. It's got Kentucky pulling clutch in it from Kentucky.
Manual.
Oh. Look. Whoa, see, she's a little jumpy.
Yeah, I know. You know, I'm getting on my girl.